How's it going, everybody? In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a form in React. So it's gonna look like this, and when the person tries to contact you, not only will you receive an email, but they also will receive an email as a confirmation. So for that, we're gonna use Email.js that has no backend, has an option for email confirmation, and offers up to 100 email per month. So right now, I don't really have much. I just have a boilerplate. I have this page. So this is my app component. So my app component is right here. It just has a title and it's rendered in my main. So we're just gonna create right now a contact us component. So contact us.jsx. I'll say RSC. I'll go to my main, and just below my app component, I'm going to import my contact us component. Um, I'll try to have, yeah. So if I click here, I'll have the auto import just right here. I'm just gonna close it. Okay. So now we really don't have anything, so I'm just gonna say class name text white, and I'm gonna say this is gonna be my form. All right. So this is gonna be the form component here. So right now we're gonna go to email.js. So you're gonna create a free account. So I made one just before, so I'm just going to sign in, and you're going to land here. So this is the home page of email.js. Now you're gonna want to create a new service. So I'm going to say add a new service. I'm gonna go for Gmail, and right here you're gonna have a service ID. So we'll use it in just a bit. So for now we're just going to connect my account, and I made this tutorial in my JS email address, so that's just for now. I'm gonna say continue. I already accepted the access, so there's just a checkbox that you want to check is to allow email.js to send email in your name. So you just want to make sure that you tick that. It's gonna be about here. So I'm gonna say continue, and now I am connected as this email that I made just for the tutorial, email.jstutorial@gmail.com. Send Gmail test to verify I don't need that, so I'm just going to create the service. Alright, so the service is made. Um, I'm gonna jump right into the docs here that you have on the upper tab. And on the left part, you're gonna scroll down until you see SDK and then installation. So you want to copy the npm install. So I'm gonna copy that. I'll start a new terminal, and you're gonna paste it and enter. Alright, so you'll keep scrolling below. For this tutorial, we're gonna use React, but you can use Svelte or Vue or whatever you want. And I'm just going to copy the snippet that Email.js offers. So I'm gonna copy it, and make sure you keep that line of export default. I'm gonna paste it, and here I can remove the export because I already exported default here. Alright, so let's just make sure it works. I'm gonna go back to my page, and you can see already the form provided by Email.js, but it doesn't have any style yet. I'm just gonna do it right now. Alright, so back to our code. I only added a few class names here that you see on on the form elements to have a flex, justify center, and I changed a bit of the input to have a white color. Now, we're just gonna remove the labels because we're not gonna use them in this tutorial. So remove the label, and you wanna make sure for every input you're gonna add the required. So I'm gonna copy it and paste it for every single input. Okay, so now because we removed the label, you're gonna see that we have nothing here, so we're just going to add a few placeholders. Um, there we are. So for the input of name, we're gonna say placeholder. I'm gonna say your name, and for the email, I'll say placeholder, your email, and then I'm gonna have your message. Let's check it out. Okay. So now we're gonna go back to email.js. You wanna open this, and just right here, you're gonna have your service ID. So you're going to copy it. And for now, we're going to change the keys here, as you see. So we're gonna paste here the service ID. And now we need the template ID that we can't have right now, and we need the public key. So for the public key, you're gonna go on the left tab on your account, and here you have a public key. So make sure you copy it, and you're going to paste it here. All right. Now you're gonna want to click on email templates, and it's gonna be in two steps. So the first step is gonna be a template for when the user sends you an email, and later on we're gonna create another template for the email confirmation. So for now we're just going to create a new template. You're gonna select contact us, and down below create template. So it's a little tricky here. So when you see the to email, it's gonna be your personal email address. So when the users fills up your form and they click on send, this is gonna be your email. Now there's something a little weird with email.js, that they pre-filled name, but if we go back to the snippet that they provided before, the name is actually the username. So make sure you copy the correct one. That's a little weird from email.js team. So you want to make sure that here you put user email, and same for the email. It's not email, it's gonna be user email as well. Um, yeah, so the name of your field has to match with the fields here. All right. So contact us. This is what you are going to receive. So you can say you received a new message from, and now you're gonna have the username. So don't forget the double curly brackets here. And we're gonna say edit content, designer editor. So you want to remove this and this. And again, this is what you are going to receive. So I'm gonna say dear Damien, since it's my name, and I will say you received a new message from, so double curly brackets, username, and I'm gonna say here is their email address, and same, I'm gonna say double curly brackets, user email, and here is their message. And again, it's a variable. So we have the message. So where do I get the message? Actually, it's here, name, message. So you're gonna save it. And you're gonna go to the setting tabs. And here you finally have your template ID. So you're going to copy it. And you're gonna paste it here. All right. And now I'm gonna hit save. And that was pretty fast, but technically speaking, I could already send an email here. I could say John, and he's going to reply to. So John's email address is gonna be here. Hello from John. And if I hit send, I'm gonna have success here in the console log. So let's just check if I received an email from John. And I did. All right. Now we're going to configure the email confirmation. So back to email.js, we're going to create a new template. So create a new template and you're going to select auto reply and down below create template. And this is what your user is going to receive though. So this is going to be the confirmation. So we're going to say email confirmation from, so my name is Damien, but put yours. And here to email, it's gonna be again user underscore email, so be careful with that one. And here we're going to edit content. So this is what your user is gonna see. So you're gonna say, dear username, thank you for contacting us. We will reach you at the soonest. And then you can say, so I'm Damien, I can put a phone number. Okay, so that's a dummy number, so you're going to apply changes. And an important thing here, you're going to go to auto reply and you're going to select the template and you need to link it with contact us. So I'm going to save and now I go back to email templates. And now that auto reply does exist, you want to go back to contact us, auto reply again, and you're going to say auto reply. So you need to link them in both of the templates. So I'm gonna hit save. And now I'm gonna just try if it works. So I have exactly the same form. This is the second email. I'm gonna send and I have another success. So again, this was the first one, so no surprise here. And this is John's email address, so you can see that we did receive an email confirmation. Dear John, thank you for contacting me. I will reach you at the soonest, Damien, with my phone number. So technically email.js here is fully configured, so we don't need to do anything more, but as you can see, the user experience is not the best here. So what we want to do is that when you send an email, the form should be empty and we should have a confirmation for the user. So how are we going to do that? So as you can see here, we're using useref. So form is a dependency of useref, and we do the reference here. So useref is actually a reference to the DOM, so it doesn't mount again when the value changes. So we're gonna use this dependency. So when you hit submit, you have the on submit and it triggers the function send email. And the function send email is actually this one. So it prevents default so the browser doesn't refresh. And then it sends the form with the public keys. And when the promise is resolved, it just console log the success. So what we want to do before is to reset the form.current. And if you have an error, you need to do it again. So you want to make sure that you copy it twice. And the second thing we want to do is to add a spinner. So I'm going to show you right now what a spinner is, because I want to integrate mine directly inside the button when you submit the form. So I'm going to create here a new file. I'm going to call it spinner.jsx, and I'm just going to use a, a Tailwind class. I'm not going to use a different library, so I just asked ChatGPT to code me quickly a spinner. So I'm going to go back here, and just after the button, I'm going to import my spinner just to see how it looks. So I'm going to click here, so I have the auto import. I'm going to close it. So we do have here the spinner, and let's see what it does. So we do have a spinner now. Now what we want to do is that when we click on send, instead of seeing send, we can see the spinner until the promise is resolved, and then it's going to be back to send. So we're going to create a state. So I'm going to first import useState. And here we're going to say const. So we're going to say, is it loading or not? So set is loading equals to useState. And by default, we want to have it on false. So down below, instead of input, I want to use an on-click. So I'm going to change the input for a button. So I'm going to say button, and here slash button. Okay. So after the required, we're going to say on click. And when the user clicks on the button, so I'm going to say it's going to be a callback. When it clicks on the button, we want to set is loading to true. Okay. And here it's going to be send. And I'm just going to remove the spinner. Okay, so let's say that John is here again. It's me again. And now when the user clicks, yeah, because I'm not actually rendering, so it's just gonna be sent. So let's say, is it loading? If it's loading, then you start the spinner. And if it's not loading, I just want to see the string send. Okay, and then because the user is gonna click on the button, it's gonna put set is loading to true. So we want to remove it then. So here when it's a success, we want to say set is loading back to false. And same here if you have an error. And I'm actually gonna remove the console log success, console log fail. Okay, so now let's here I assume it's because we had clicked before. Yeah. So let's say John, and let's click on send. And it did send a message, and then because it finished, so it set loading again to back to false. So now everything is working correctly, but in terms of user experience, you don't really know if your message has been sent or not. So we're gonna use a famous library called Toastify. So you want to look for React Toastify. So if you're on React and you want to use React Hot Toast, it's as you prefer. But in this video, we're going to use this one from FK Hadra. And so you have the installation here, so we're going to install it right now. So new terminal. So install. And back here, they're showing you what you need to import. And you want to make sure that you actually insert in your DOM the toast container. Otherwise, nothing is going to appear. So you just right below your button and you paste the toast container. And be careful because it did paste as well another button for some reason. Okay, so I hit save. And back to the Toastify page, you want to click on introduction. And here you can have a preview. So if I click on show toast, this is the toast. So we don't really want this one. So I suggest you go to bottom center because I noticed it's more efficient for mobile because I used to have a top right, but on my phone it didn't work that well. Here you want to click success, and here you can use the light or the dark. So the light is this one and the dark is going to be here. So for this video we're going to use dark, and I think we're good like this. So you have two ways of implementing. So we can use the toast container as a component, but here we're going to use the function because we want to trigger it when the function is running. So you want to go back here on then, and for the success we're going to paste it here. Make sure you remove the transition bounds. Here on auto close you can choose 2 seconds instead of 5. And wow, this was easy. We can remove it and we can say we sent you an email confirmation. Maybe check your spams. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same but for the error. So here you want to click on error, show toast. So this is what we're gonna have. So we're just going to copy that. And we're gonna get it here. So again, make sure you remove the transition bounds. We're gonna say 2 seconds. And here we need to put an error message. So an error has occurred. Please call us instead, or whatever you want. Okay, so from now we're good to go. So I'm just going to restart the server and back to my page. I just want to remove the emails here to see that everything is working as it should. So back here we're gonna say my name is, I don't know, let's say Adidas company. This is their email address. And hi, we are Adidas or whatever. So let's see what happens. If I click send, it should trigger the spinner, and then the promise should resolve, and it should send me a Toastify, and it should set back is loading back to false. So let's try it, and it did work. So here you're gonna check out your emails. You received a new message from Adidas company. Here is their email address, so like we had before. And on the other hand, we have email confirmation from Damien. Dear Adidas company, thank you for contacting. Alright, so this is the end of the video, and if you want, I'm going to to insert the link of the GitHub repository if you have any question, or you can just ask in the comment and I'll do my best to answer those. And I shall see you in the next time. Bye.